this should actually scare us. Trump is getting, just like in the segment we just wrapped up, there's a brazenness that's frightening to me that it feels like even Trump didn't fully lean into in the past. In the case of what we just discussed with corruption, and now with just his utter disregard for freedom of speech. We're going to talk about his lawsuit against the New York Times. But first, I'll play the clip for you. But the backstory here is that he went to a DC restaurant, and people, and this was a confusing part from the standpoint of the Secret Service, that they allowed protesters to get this close to Trump, but he was protested. Listen to the protest, and then I'll show you Trump's reaction to the fact that he was heckled.
Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! Free DC! Free Palestine! Trump is the Hitler of our time! United communities all over the world! From Puerto Rico to the Philippines! Free Palestine!
So initially he was trying to do like the, thank you. But that didn't work. So he was like, all right, get him out of here. So I get it. I'm sure plenty of people will take issue. And you could argue you didn't like what they were saying if you want to argue that. Hitler? Of Adolf Hitler fame? What? Don't say that, right? Okay. But there's a big difference between you not liking what somebody said and then thinking they should be locked up for saying it. And if I just said that Trump said that, you would think I was being hyperbolic. Well, here's the clip. While you're watching it, please do click the subscribe button. And if you want to be as energetic as I am today, go to drinkpep.com to get yourself some pep. Active probiotics, gut friendly, no artificial junk. Deliver it directly to your doorstep. Drinkpep.com. Family business, supported that way. All right, here we go.
They're women, in many cases, women. You can see they're professional agitators. I had one the other night. I had 4 the other night, all in one group, total phonies. I started to scream when I got into a restaurant, something with Palestine. And I said, well, I'm doing a great job for peace in the Middle East. I should get lots of awards for that, right? With the Abraham Accords and everything else. But a woman just stood up and started screaming. And she got booed out of the place, too. There were a lot of people in the restaurant. I went there to show how safe, and it was safe. I mean, the woman is just a mouthpiece. All she was a paid agitator. And you have a lot of them. And I've asked Pam to look into that in terms of RICO, bringing RICO cases against it, criminal RICO, because they should be put in jail. What they're doing to this country is really subversive. Yeah.
Now, am I missing some context here? Is this another example of the weave? Was he saying...
I do the weave.
Yeah. Was he saying, was he previously on the topic of Antifa? Even so. And then he specifically said paid agitators, which there's no evidence any of those people were paid. Which is a little bit of a cope. Can we stop doing this, everybody? Every time anyone says stuff that you don't like, you just say they must be paid to say it. Maybe some of them are. I mean, some of them are. In the case of our little Russian controversy that was exposed. But many people just say stuff that you don't like. And that's life, and that's politics, and that's arguing. And you can tell them to stop saying it or whatever. But we're supposed to argue back and forth. That's the whole game here. That's democracy, baby. Life, liberty, pursuit of...
Life, liberty, pursuit of...
Thank you, Joe. Literally, not figuratively. The idea that he would say something like that. And then he's saying that left-wing groups or people protesting him because he believes they're paid agitators. Yeah, that's what he said. We just saw it. I'm in disbelief. I'm like, maybe he was talking about violent gangs and then he shifted to the lady and shifted back without us noticing. But no, I mean, that's what he said. And that people should be prosecuted? RICO, by the way, that's like taking down criminal organizations. I don't think you'd need all that. RICO. And if you do believe, maybe he was saying something different and shifted and shifted and flipped and shifted, then here you have him again demonstrating his lack of respect for the First Amendment.
And what do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? Is that, I mean, a lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
She'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe they'll come after ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Your company paid me $16 million for a form of hate speech. So maybe they'll have to.
So we've gone from the right. Now, what that's in reference to is Pam Bondi was saying she's thinking of prosecuting, getting involved in prosecuting hate speech in reference to Charlie Kirk's assassination. And again, if you've just stumbled across this show, I've called out people saying horrendous things in response to his assassination. And how you prosecute them for that in a country with free speech, I don't know. And I don't think that's reasonable. And then, as if to say, this is about so much more too in just Trump's lack of respect for the First Amendment, he goes, yeah, maybe we should go after you, ABC News, with hate. It's a hate crime. They want us to believe that ABC News reporting negatively on Trump is a hate crime. And I will actually credit prominent right-wing influencers. They've all gone, what are you talking about, Pam Bondi? Even a guy I debated on Tim Pool's show, Phil, said Trump really does say dumb stuff sometimes. I think we're missing it a little bit. It's not just like, oh, so zany. He is specifically aligned with an ideology that doesn't respect our First Amendment. So that's a part of the problem, which actually I told you, Phil, and you said I was wrong about before his administration. But okay, at least he's criticizing. And a lot of prominent MAGA folks have criticized Pam Bondi as much as they're opposed to the examples of hateful speech that she's talking about because it relates to Charlie Kirk. Even they're saying that doesn't make any sense with the First Amendment, to their credit, but Trump makes it about ABC News. And so we've gone from Trump, a part of a movement that argued even hate speech online, which is not a First Amendment matter whenever it's the online platform that's a private company that you're on, taking you off their platform, they would say that's the greatest attack to the First Amendment, despite it being a private platform choosing who can be on it, and they would have hate speech rules. Now Trump's saying, yeah, ABC shouldn't be able to discuss things I don't like or criticize me, otherwise it's hate speech, committing a hate crime. Then he randomly just said, Fani Willis needs to be in jail? Who's been talking about Fani Willis?
The court this morning denied Fani Willis's appeal of your case removing her from the case. Do you have any response?
Well, that was a great decision. It was a rigged case to start off with. It's great. The court just ruled that she is a disaster. She's a disaster.
Yeah, that was the court case. The courts just ruled Fani Willis is a disaster.
The boyfriend that she paid $1 million for his expertise, but he never did it before. Now she should be prosecuted. What she did to people, forget about me. What Fani Willis did to innocent people, patriots that love our country, what she did to them by indicting them and destroying them, she should be put in jail. She's a criminal. Fani Willis is a criminal.
So Fani Willis, he thinks should be in jail. January 6ers? Nah. Fani Willis for bringing a case he didn't like? Yes. That's his logic. Protesters should be in jail, I guess. And ABC shouldn't be allowed to broadcast hate crimes against him. Interesting logic. But look, I mean, it's not just words. Trump files $15 billion lawsuit against the New York Times, one of the worst and most degenerate newspapers. I talked about this as well in the damage report. But today I have the great honor and privilege of, with a humble heart, of bringing a $15 billion defamation libel lawsuit against the New York Times. I don't even want to read this. It's too long. The Times is engaged in decades-long method of lying about me, something about George Slopadopoulos. I don't know how he fits into it. He has nothing to do with the New York Times. He knew that they were falsely smearing me through a highly sophisticated system. They practice this long-term. So it's literally just, it's not even a specific thing. It's just, you've been mean for a while. Sued. It wouldn't go anywhere if it weren't for him then always leaving on the table. In the case of Paramount CBS, him actually using government authority to punish outlets if they don't settle with him. So that's what he's setting up here. $15 billion because they did coverage he didn't like, which is literally what he's doing this for. I just read you most of his posts, and you can see it's not, they said that I'm trying to think of a lie they even could have told. They said that I was best friends with Epstein. Oh, no, not that. They said that I was found liable to sexual abuse. Oh, no, not that. They said my ankles are huge. Oh, no. And it's just a general complaint. But it is, otherwise we go, he's going to fail. But now he's the president, and he uses, like his withholding of the merger with Paramount, specifically to pressure them into a settlement deal. He's using his authority to attack the First Amendment and settle scores. And it's scary.